Hi friends, I come back on Linux Mint way sooner than I thought. Steve Edwards just posted a suggestion in the comment section of the last video on Linux Mint, where he said that he used Simple Screen Recorder, and I downloaded it through the application manager, what would be an app store something style on any other platform. And so I found that, and even though it says Simple Screen Recorder, it actually has a ton of settings. What I don't found out until now was the audio, because I can't even see if my laptop has something like a microphone built in. So I think when it has a camera, it should also have a microphone, but I really can't see any microphone. So, however, I take the audio from the camera, but I want to show you the Linux Mint, and then from the perspective of a noob like myself, is the window, and then I switch to the screen of my laptop, what's not full HD, but I already tested it and I saw that it's quite okay, just to show you what's going on that screen. So for now I clap in my hands just to have the start of my screen recording. As you can see, we have a quite beautiful laid out home screen, and I already customized that. I have the small icons. You can choose that here. Very self-explanatory. Desktop settings. What I don't like, but that's not the operating system itself, it's the computer. The computer is just so slow because it doesn't have an SSD, just an HDD, and it's a 12-year-old computer. In order to see what it actually has, we go to the terminal. And here I type in neofetch. I know it already looks like, hey, this guy really knows what he's doing on that. But okay, if you are older than 15 and you have worked half of your life in the IT, this is not something that will send you the chills down your spine. So, but we can see the operating system is Linux Mint 21.3. The host is my old Lenovo G550. I don't know what the number before that means. The kernel, that's the operating system kernel. Yeah, the kernel is the core of the whole thing. Uptime 10 minutes, packages 2020-08 and one Flatpak. I think there were something saying Flatpak when I installed the Easy Screen Recorder, and I think that this has to do something with that. I really don't know what the packages actually are. Shell, I always knew Shell as something like a user interface. The resolution, you see, it's just 13.6 by 768 DE Cinnamon. I really don't know actually what Cinnamon is. It seems that it has something to do with the layout and with the look and feel of the user interface. I'm not entirely sure, so you can really see I'm an absolute noob when it comes to this. WM theme, Cinnamon, I really don't know what these things mean. Terminal, GNOME terminal, I really don't know what GNOME is. Pentium T44, I would say that the 2 stands for dual core. And then here the GPU thing, that was where we had problems yesterday when I tried to start OBS on the laptop. I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday, but I actually despise laptops. I really hate laptops, with the touchpad and all that. I now have a mouse connected because I like working with a mouse much more. I always hated the keyboards on laptops. I actually hated everything about laptops. It's not rational even. It doesn't matter for me how technical advanced a laptop is, if you call it a laptop or a Chromebook or a iMac or whatever, all these flippy flappy things, they are just emergency solutions for me. That is the way I would put it. I hate them with all of my heart. I bought that laptop when I was in New York and I needed something computer-like, and I couldn't buy a desktop there and then take it all the way back to Europe, so I had to go with a laptop. When I came back with that laptop, I put it in a closet and that was it. Then in the meantime, I got it back out and could install Windows 10 because it came with Windows 7. Then I could upgrade. And then Windows 10 made it even slower than it already was. And from that moment on, I think in 12 years' time, I used that thing about 2 weeks, and that's it. I really rarely touched it. I didn't saw any reason to use a laptop. And if I could avoid using a laptop, I would, because I would rather do nothing with a computer than using a laptop. But now for this whole Unix experimental thing, I think this is a great thing to start, and I will sell it in between somewhere. And I hope that until then I will have found a distro that I can decide on to put on my main computer and make it dual boot, and then further my investigations into the operating system in the entire world. I now have at this moment, as you can see, no network connected, and I'm too lazy to look for the wireless network password. I think that's all very self-explanatory. You can choose certain color key schemes for the environment. Let's go through the applications it comes with. That are the categories, and then on the right side. So yeah, Archive Manager. Looks quite empty, and that's always something where I get a little bit confused. I open something, there's that empty window, and then I don't know really, is it still looking for something and will it show it in a couple of seconds, or is there just nothing to show? A calculator. Yesterday I saw a video where somebody immediately say, oh yeah, there's that and that calculator. And I only think, okay, a calculator. Basic, advanced, let's see. Let's see what the advanced calculator. Wow, things that I would never use. Character map. Okay, I think I actually don't know what I should do with that. You can go through your fonts and look at the different characters, I guess. I don't know. That I will have to find out. Then I have actions. You see, as I said earlier, the only things that interested me are the applications that I'm going to install, like DaVinci Resolve, Unreal Engine, Blender, and so forth. And I'm not interested in any other stuff, actually. I don't know what these actions do. What I already saw, what's very interesting, was that they have something to back your system up so that you can go back once you install something and it's just one mouse click and then you go to a sort way back machine. I know that I installed that. I don't know where it is. It was like Time Warp or something. For example, in the sound and video, there's something for your webcam where it says cheese. You have a video players, you have a rhythm box, I think audio players. I saw something in another video who had problems with that, so I don't go into that. Oh yeah, I actually, what I also know, I need a door working on it. And of course, I absolutely know that there is no way that I can try DaVinci Resolve on that laptop. That's just something that's not going to happen. Power statistics. Okay. Not so interesting. But you have a lot of stuff that you have with other systems as well. What I found interesting, as I said, was that thing with Timeshift. Yeah, Timeshift. It was called Timeshift. So I have to type in my password here in order to use it. And then you see that there are 2 snapshots. And if I click now, create, and what it does is it makes a snapshot of the entire system, how it is now. And that's quite important, I think, because I just updated the Firefox browser and I installed that screen recording thingy. Oh, wow, this will take half an hour. So I let it run in the background. And the thing is, once you have done that, it will then be in that list here. Then you can go back depending on how far you want to go back. If you, for example, decide that, I installed 2 or 3 and made new applications, and in the meantime I did different snapshots, then you can go back to one of them. And of course you can delete them because you don't want to fill your entire hard drive with snapshots, because I think that they will be quite big at a certain moment. Why I think myself that the entire system is very keen on having everything as small as possible and don't waste too much room on your hard drive. And I think that's a very good thing. But yeah, maybe interesting. I will minimize this because we don't need to see that here now. What's interesting and what I already figured out, obviously, is here you have this shield. Looks like a shield for, it doesn't matter how it looks actually. Here you have to have the update manager, so my system is totally up to date. There will always be a red dot if your system isn't up to date, and you can go there and update it. If you don't want to browse through all the categories here, you can also just go to the software manager, and then it takes a while, a moment, but I'm never sure, is it starting the fucking manager or isn't it? Because there's nothing happening. But okay, while I wait for this manager, I go to the files here. It's the slowest thing. That's really shaking my... That's like our old Explorer. And here in the Explorer, you see that it looks just like every other Explorer, but there are no drives. So what I want to do is I go for a moment. I put a USB stick into it just because, and then I want to see what happens. And then after a while it shows, as you can see, and it opens immediately. It's also a nice thing to do. It opens it under device. So every drive, I guess every drive will just be under devices somehow with the name that you gave to it. So this one is just USB 4GB volume, a little old-fashioned USB stick. I just take it out. I don't know. I didn't look for it anyway. If there was a eject thingy, like you have it under Windows. Yeah, that will be my main concern, will be where are my drives located. I already heard some horror stories about if you, for example, install Linux Rocky, make sure that you take the drives out that you don't want to have it installed on. And that would be quite a lot, actually. I would to unplug them in some way. Weird thought. Just don't take my word for it. What I heard was that if you install Rocky, it will just format all your drives and make one volume out of them. So handle with care. But it's an even better reason first to experiment on an old laptop with this new operating system. I see that the timestamp in the meantime is done. I don't know what the tags actually mean. I really don't have a clue. I see that there is a date where you can see when the snapshot is created. You can select the snapshot and delete it. I will do that just for the purpose of, oh shit, it's taking time as well. So, but okay, in the meantime, the software manager had started. And in the software manager, you can also see what you have. So I have now what's not installed, for example, is GIMP. I would install that, of course. Oh, shit. I shouldn't have. You can choose to install. Of course, it will not make any it will not show anything because I don't have an internet connection at that moment. There are things that are installed. If they are installed, like, I don't know how that was called. I installed something that was called Clam, and that's an antivirus program. And I also installed a firewall, and the firewall was very easy. Yeah, Clam AV, a Clam TK. You see here where you have these check marks, the screen check marks, that are actually the programs that you have installed. There are no screenshots available because I don't have that machine connected to the internet. However, I know you have that Clam TK and Clam AV, that are your antivirus programs. Works a little bit different compared to suits like McAfee or Norton. They are not continue bothering you. It's more that you once a week or so, or every couple of days, you go and let them check if there are any viruses, and then usually they won't find anything. I don't want to say anything more about that because I am not yet deep enough into it to make any conclusions about safety, maybe in a future video. So the only purpose of this video was actually thanking Steve for the tip of installing that simple screen recorder and showing you the interface as I experience it, as somebody who has the first time contact or is very, very early in having contact in general with Linux. I like it. I like the layout. I like the simplicity of the layout. That's actually it. That what I can say until now. I like this. I will try Pop! OS, and I probably try some other distros on that laptop before I just sell it, and then I'm going to make a dual boot on my main machine. Then I look how it goes from there. For now, thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. Goodbye.